Hello everyone and welcome back to Pan-Africscope, the channel where Africa's real transformations are analyzed, decoded, and told without filters, beyond headlines, beyond stereotypes, straight to the strategic core of the continent. Today we take a closer look at one of East Africa's most impressive transformation stories, Somalia's main gateway. For more than 30 years, Somalia was often described using one word: collapse. A collapsed state, a collapsed economy, a collapsed infrastructure, ports abandoned, trade disrupted, maritime routes unsafe, and a capital city cut off from the global economy. But history does not remain frozen forever. Today, in the heart of Mogadishu, along the Indian Ocean, a strategic infrastructure is quietly rewriting Somalia's national story. An infrastructure that feeds the country, connects it to the world, and symbolizes resilience after decades of chaos. That infrastructure is the Port of Mogadishu. This port is not just a place where ships dock, it is Somalia's economic lung, its logistical backbone, and perhaps the strongest proof that Somalia is no longer standing still. In this video, we will explore how the Port of Mogadishu became the most critical infrastructure in Somalia, why it matters far beyond the capital, and how it could shape the future of the entire Horn of Africa. Part 1: The historical role of the Port of Mogadishu. To understand the importance of the Port of Mogadishu today, we must first understand its past. Mogadishu has been a maritime city for centuries. Long before modern nation-states existed, Somali traders were already active along the Indian Ocean trade routes. Gold, livestock, incense, spices, and textiles passed through these shores. During the colonial era and later after independence in 1960, the Port of Mogadishu became the main commercial gateway of Somalia. It handled the majority of imports and exports, supplying food, fuel, construction materials, and consumer goods to the entire country. By the 1970s and 1980s, the port was a strategic state asset, supporting national food security, industrial supply chains, government revenues, employment for thousands of workers. But everything changed in the early 1990s. Part 2: Collapse, War, and the Near Death of a Strategic Port. When the Somali Civil War erupted in 1991, the port became a victim of the national collapse. Government institutions disappeared, security vanished, infrastructure deteriorated. The Port of Mogadishu suffered from looting and destruction, lack of maintenance, armed groups controlling access, massive decline in shipping traffic. At times, international vessels avoided Mogadishu entirely. Insurance costs skyrocketed. Piracy in Somali waters further isolated the port. For years, the port operated far below its capacity, surviving mainly through informal arrangements and emergency imports. Yet despite everything, the port never completely stopped functioning. That resilience would later become the foundation for its revival. Part 3: Reconstruction and Modernization, a Turning Point. The real transformation of the Port of Mogadishu began in the 2010s, as Somalia slowly rebuilt its federal institutions. Recognizing that no economy can recover without trade, Somali authorities placed the port at the center of national reconstruction. Key reforms included securing the port area with national forces and international support, reorganizing port management, attracting foreign investment and technical expertise, restoring trust with international shipping companies. Modernization efforts focused on upgrading docking facilities, improving cargo handling systems, introducing digital customs processes, enhancing port security and compliance. As a result, the port's efficiency increased dramatically, container traffic grew, turnaround times improved, and Mogadishu slowly returned to global maritime routes. Part 4: The Economic Heartbeat of Somalia. Today, the Port of Mogadishu handles the vast majority of Somalia's imports. This includes food supplies, fuel and energy products, construction materials, machinery, consumer goods. In a country where domestic industrial production is still limited, the port is essential for daily survival. But its impact goes far beyond imports. The port generates customs revenues for the federal government, thousands of direct and indirect jobs, income for transport, logistics, and warehousing sectors. For many Somali families, the port is not an abstract infrastructure, it is the source of their livelihood. Without it, markets would collapse, prices would explode, and economic recovery would stall. Part 5: Strategic and Geopolitical Significance. The Port of Mogadishu is not only important for Somalia, it matters at the regional and global level. Located along one of the world's busiest maritime corridors, near the Gulf of Aden, the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean trade routes, this position gives Somalia a strategic role in global commerce. As international powers compete for influence in the Horn of Africa, ports have become geopolitical assets. Control, management, and security of maritime infrastructure now influence trade routes, military logistics, energy supply chains. For Somalia, maintaining sovereignty over the Port of Mogadishu is a matter of national security. It represents independence, control over borders, and the ability to negotiate with partners from a position of strength. Part 6: Security Challenges and Operational Realities. Despite its progress, the Port of Mogadishu still operates in a challenging environment. Security threats remain real, infrastructure needs continuous upgrading, and bureaucratic inefficiencies still exist. Key challenges include terrorist threats targeting economic infrastructure, high insurance costs for shipping companies, limited hinterland connectivity, need for skilled technical workforce. Yet compared to the past, the difference is striking. The port is no longer a symbol of chaos. It is a controlled, functioning, and improving national asset. And every year of stable operation strengthens investor confidence. Part 7: The port is a symbol of Somalia's rebirth. More than cranes, containers, and ships, the Port of Mogadishu carries symbolic power. It represents the return of state authority, the rebuilding of national confidence, Somalia's reconnection to the global economy. When a ship docks safely in Mogadishu today, it sends a message to the world. Somalia is open for business. Somalia is rebuilding. Somalia refuses to remain trapped in its past. This symbolism matters especially for a country long defined by external narratives. Part 8: Future Potential and Regional Integration. Looking forward, the potential of the Port of Mogadishu is enormous. With proper investment, it could become a regional logistics hub, support exports of livestock, agriculture, and fisheries, strengthen trade with East Africa and the Middle East, reduce import costs through efficiency. Improved road and rail links could connect the port to inland regions, spreading economic benefits beyond the capital. In the long term, the port could transform Somalia from an aid-dependent economy into a trade-driven one. The Port of Mogadishu is more than concrete and steel. It is Somalia's gateway to survival, recovery, and sovereignty. It tells a story of resilience of a nation that refused to disappear, and that is slowly reclaiming its place in global trade. Somalia's future will not be built overnight. But as long as ships continue to dock in Mogadishu, as long as trade continues to flow through its port, the country keeps moving forward. If you believe Africa's real stories deserve to be told with depth and context, subscribe to PanAfricScope. Like this video, share it with those who still think Somalia has no future, and tell us in the comments. Should African ports be fully controlled by African states? Is maritime infrastructure the key to economic sovereignty? This is PanAfricScope, where Africa's strategic awakening is explained, not ignored.